Greetings and welcome to this week's edition of 401k Real Talk. This is Fred Barstein, contributing editor at wealthmanagement.com's RPA Edge and CEO at TROW, TPSU, and 401k TV. I review all of last week's stories and select the most important and interesting ones, providing open, honest, and candid discussion you will not get anywhere else. So let's get real. First story, Fidelity is reporting all-time highs by plan sponsors considering making changes to their investments, advisor, and record keeper in their 13th edition of their plan sponsor study. Of note, 47% are considering changing their advisor and 48% changing their record keeper. Plans want their advisor to be more proactive with communications, dealing with record keeper issues, and plan design. Yet at the same time, advisor satisfaction is at an all-time high, up from 34% in 2021 to 47% this year. But analyzing 5,500 data for larger plans, P&I reported that just 13% of plans actually changed investments versus the 93% Fidelity indicated in their study considering making changes. Though there may be pent-up demand post-pandemic, will half of all plans change their advisor and record keeper? Not likely, but the opportunities to have discussions are ripe, with advisor solicitations dramatically increasing. Next story, a Gallup study indicates that the movement for people to retire early during the pandemic is turning back to normal trends that we've seen since 1991, when people retired at 57 compared to 61 this year. Interestingly, people retire much earlier than they expect, either because of a windfall or involuntarily. For example, in the age 60 to 64 age group, 41% were retired between 2002 and 2007, compared to just 32% in the past 5 years. Many are concerned about their financial security, while others realize that it makes sense to delay taking Social Security. Inflation may also be making people think about working longer. Next story, will the $1.5 million sanction against the Schlichter law firm become a trend and inhibit the seeming onslaught of lawsuits? According to Euclid, a fiduciary insurance firm, courts are likely to sanction more plaintiffs' attorneys. Citing the 10 recent lawsuits against BlackRock's target date funds, a top-performing investment, and aggressive advertising and solicitation by the plaintiffs' bar, Euclid believes that more firms will be cited for reckless behavior and intentional disregard of an attorney's duty to the court. That all seems like wishful thinking when you compare the $1.5 million sanctions against the reported almost $500 million in fees that Schlichter has been able to win. What Creative Planning and Focus Financial predict a slowdown in the hot RIA M&A market, Advisor Group, one of the largest broker-dealers with 1.25% of their assets with independent RIAs, recently made the first of what it predicts will be more acquisitions in the independent RIA market. Focused on smaller RIAs, Advisor Group sees significant opportunities to purchase independent firms, with this segment growing rapidly for them, as well as many other broker-dealers. Will entrepreneurial RIAs thrive in a more corporate environment, which is very different than with aggregators? Will other larger BDs follow suit? And will Advisor Group venture into the RPA M&A market, which seems to be a growing focus for them. Stay tuned. Finally, as more small plans are expected to start retirement plans, either because of the war for talent, state mandates, or expected tax incentives in Secure 2.0, banks seem to be more interested in serving smaller and startup plans. Huntington Bank partnered with PAI, targeting plans with less than 50 employees among their 400,000 small business clients. JP Morgan, which sold its large market record keeper to Empower, is offering a similar service using an outsourced record keeper, as is Bank of America. Though there's a service gap for the startup and small plans, small businesses, unlikely to be covered by RPAs or wealth advisors. So maybe banks can find a niche to sell additional services to their current clients and offer banking services to participants. Interestingly, these banks are partnering with record keepers, not creating their own, which is a wise move indeed. So those were the most important and interesting stories from the last week. I listed a few additional stories I thought were worth reading, especially my column about what steps plan sponsors can take to prepare for the expected onslaught of small plan lawsuits, and my 401k Real Chat with CEO Intellisense CEO Brad Aarons on why his firm entered the wealth business. Please let me know if I missed anything or if you have any comments. Otherwise, I look forward to speaking to you next week on 401k Real Talk.